So this is my second in Amsterdam vlog. I'm gonna do it right this time and not royally screw it up and actually include everything that I'm supposed to include. So for the first thing, there were a couple things that I think I really learned this week. One of them was when we were talking about sex work, and I didn't really think about it, but I had assumed that, the feminism movement would be a positive thing for the sex work industry, and it would be advocating for women's rights and advocating for, sex workers' rights and for the equality and the destigmatization. But turns out the feminist movement oftentimes is actually very negatively impactful on sex workers. Yes, it does make sense a little bit when you think about it, because it is a very patriarchal system, and men definitely still do have the run of things, but at the same time, it's gonna happen. And I figured that, feminists would be like, okay, sex workers are women too, let's help them, but that doesn't happen. The other thing that surprised me were the statistics that we learned about the anti-gay attacks. Just the fact that same percentage of the attacks were instigated by Moroccans that were also by autochtons. Autochtons?
Close enough, yeah.
By autochtons. 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 I learned, I think, the best with the visuals that were accompanied with the lectures. I don't often do well when it's just a lecture and it's just someone talking at me, but in most of my science classes, which is the way I've been learning for the past 4 years, definitely the visuals with the lecture. Also, the law activity that we did yesterday, I think, was actually very helpful. You walk away from it and you don't really think you learned anything, but you realize you know more about the subject now because you've done it. I think hands-on activities like that are actually the best way for me to learn, but I know they're not always possible. My anecdote for the week is going to be probably the same as a lot of other people's. I just want to remember Mackenzie's birthday. Last night we threw them a party, just a little party. I mean, but everybody was there, and but TJ, somebody had bought the cake, and then Willa and I decorated it, and we just covered it in pretzels and Cheerios and chocolates, and it was the worst looking cake in the world, but I was so proud of it, and it was so funny. And then we tried to light Cheerios on fire, and I think that is my favorite memory so far.